Let's talk about media management, project backup, and library backup, and restore. I know these are not the most interesting topics in the world, but when you have to struggle with hard drive being full and scraping extra space to keep your data all in one place, these project management tools and media management tools become really important. And fortunately for us, the Resolve, both the studio and the free version, have an identical suite of really good media management tools. So here is our project manager, and you can see that I have the tutorial library open. And let's make believe that I want to back up this whole tutorial library and just to put it to the side so that I can not have it in my list here. So let's go into the details of the tutorial library, and you can see here there's a backup button. And here it asks you where you want to put the backup file. It defaults on PC to the root of your user drive, which is a little unusual, but hey, we'll use it. We'll go ahead and back that up. Yay! That was fast, wasn't it? So now I can take that backup file to another computer and restore it using this button right here. But let's say I don't want to back up and restore a whole library. I just want to save one project within that library. Well, that's really easy. So I'm going to take my AI music project here and just either right-click on it and select Export Project, or click on it and use the Export button down here. I wish it said Backup rather than Export, but Export it is. And as you can see, it drops us in the top level of the user directory on the PC. And you can give it a different file name. I'll call this one Saved. And it sometimes takes a moment, but then it's done. Now let's say I want to take that project, just that one project, and move it into my locals only. And let's make a new folder. Saved. We'll go into our saved folder, and now we will import that saved file. And now I have that I've moved a copy of that project from one library to another. That's actually pretty handy. But none of this touches the media. These are just the project files that contain all the decisions you've made, references to the media that you've imported, but no actual media. This isn't media management. This is the project file management. And that's important because the media files are enormous and the project files are small. So backing up the project files keeps it so that the decisions you've made, if your original project gets corrupt, then you can go back to a backup version and save that time. But if your media files get lost, you're just screwed. So you need to back up your media files too. That's a different topic. We're not going to talk about that right now. But let's go ahead and open the project here and look at the media management tools inside Resolve to help you kind of deal with the media management aspect of things. It doesn't really matter which page you're in, but here's the tutorial I put together recently. I'm going to go to File menu and Media Management. Now, what this is for copying your data, your project file and the media from one place to another. And you have some options here, and these are this is where the magic happens. So right now, it says I can copy all of the media used in this project, and you can see the size totals here. My current size is 13.06 gigabytes, and the new size will be the same. That's not a savings of space, but what you could do is copy the media this way, and it only uses the media that's referenced in the project. Let's say I shot for a day and a half of B-roll, and I only use 2 of those shots. Well, this will copy those 2 shots, and then I can delete the rest of that folder. I can delete the whole folder because those 2 shots that I need are in the backup. But we can go a step further. Used media and trim, keeping 30 frames, which is normally a second in a 30 FPS video. So a second on either side. So each time you have a cut, it'll keep a second on either side of that cut, or that even more that fade if you need it. And that way you can adjust the timing of your cuts a little bit later if you really need to. So watch what happened when I select that. Boom, we went from 13 gigabytes to 9.8. Now that's not a huge savings, but You multiply that by the number of projects that you may have, and it adds up fast. So what this will do is create a new project and copy over the media, but only the media you've actually used in your timelines, and make a smaller version of all of that that's self-contained, and then you can delete everything else. Or, if you want, you can back things up and then have, again, backup is another topic. But you can see the power of this, that you can actually reduce the amount of media you're storing, but still have an editable, somewhat editable project. Of course, if you don't need to back up and edit a project, delete it. Save a lot of space that way. Do as I say, not as I do. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So we'll browse for a location. I don't really want to put it on my desktop. We'll put it in my assets. We'll make a backup folder. We'll select that one. Now there are some options here, and to tell you the truth, I don't use any of them except to relink to new files. We'll look at transcode here. What you can do is actually change the format of all the videos to take it from a higher quality, like raw video that you might shoot on the FX30 or something like that. Well, not really raw, but like 422, 10-bit, that kind of thing. If you don't really need to save it at that quality, you can save it as a lower quality. It takes a lot more time, but saves a lot more space. So this is basically just like all the functions that you have in the delivery tab. So you can change the quality of all the videos that you're transferring over. Same thing with audio. You can transcode that into something else as well. But I'm going to relink to new files and hit start. And then we wait. This is a relatively small project, so it won't take long, but the larger projects can take a truly tremendous amount of time because it's copying vast amounts of data. It's not because the process is slow, it's because there's a lot of data. Done. Let's go ahead and look at that. And assets, backups, saved. And now we have all of the, I'll show you the thumbnails. We have all of the media for this project in trimmed form. And the whole size of all of it here. But you'll notice that nothing has changed here. But let's look at where this media file actually is. So to do that, I'm going to change source folder. I'm not actually going to change it, but this will just really quickly show me where it is. And you can see that it is in C, Assets, Backup, Saved. It's referring to the new media, the copies, rather than the original media that I didn't use all of. So I can now, without doing anything else, delete the entire media directory that I used to create this project and save all of that space. And I have it now backed up. Just the files that I need are now backed up and ready to go, already associated with the project. Pretty handy. Again, it's not saving a whole lot of space with just a few gigabytes, but adds up pretty fast. And if you have an enormous project like a documentary style thing where you shot for days, sometimes months, or 4 days over the course of months, and you've got just tons and tons of footage and you only use like 2% of it, well, you can save 98% of the space if you don't think you'll ever use that footage for anything else again. Now, most of us hold on to our footage because you never know when you might need something. But there might be some projects that you've shot, maybe for clients, like a wedding or something like that, and you want to keep an editable master file, but you don't need everything. It's a very easy way to clean up your hard drive. It takes some doing, it takes a little bit of planning, and you definitely don't want to make a mistake deleting stuff that you actually do need. But at least the tools exist. Human error still happens, but Resolve gives you a pretty good set of tools for doing what you need to. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you in the next one.